We been hanging outside, ain't going in. Yeah.
Alright, back outside with it. Or we inside. Who I'm inside with, man?
Man, it's your boy Lawrence Ray, also known as LRW3. I would say the host of the Talk to Me Nice podcast, but I guess this year I kind of been more known as the owner of Talk to Me Nice Studios.
I mean, don't do the people like you abandoning people. Like,
Man,
don't even start like that.
I could never abandon the people, man, but I ain't been doing a podcast, so let me,
All right, so let's jump into it, man. First question I like to ask, man, is how is your mental health?
Man, that's love, man. Hey, mental health, I would say is good, man. I'll be honest, I used to struggle with depression a few years ago. That's kind of why I started the podcast. But since then, man, I mean, I've been good. I've been blessed, man. I've been too blessed to say anything otherwise that I'm good, man.
Yeah, man, that's a very humble answer. You know what I'm saying? How for people that is, you know what I'm saying, they down and they can't get up out of that, man. How did you get up out? What steps did you take to, you know what I'm saying, get yourself right on the right path?
Man, to be real, man, the reason, I don't want to say the reason a lot of people, for me, myself, why I struggle with depression so bad, because I had excuses, and I could continue to make excuses. And as long as you continue to make excuses for whatever you down bad for, you're going to stay there, because you're not actually applying any real effort to do anything other than that. But when I finally say, hey, man, enough, it's time, hey, you got to do something, man. And, I went to the therapist, I went for stuff like that. And, once I got my mental right, again, that's why I Talk to Me Nice, man. Hey, y'all come in here. Y'all, if you done came, I'm not asking your personal business. I'm not getting into that. But sometimes just being around people having those conversations, man, that really just changed your whole energy. So that's kind of honestly how I got through mine. And hopefully somebody gets through theirs in a different way.
Hey, man, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's a day-by-day process. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? It ain't going to happen overnight. Some people think, like, shit, I'm out of this, and then I'll go get some money, and my depression going to go away.
Yeah,
but
if you think money's going to solve your depression, you're going to be a rich, sad person. That's facts right there.
That's big fact, because there's plenty of rich people that are on drugs because they can't deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, it get deep.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like, if you find a hustle that gets your mind off of your depression and it happens to make you money too, hey, you killed two birds with one stone. But yeah, don't chase the money thinking it's gonna make you happy, because it's not.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. All right, man. Diving into it, man. LRW3, Ray Lawrence Ray. These names? What should the people call you?
Hey, man, I answer to some of everything, man. The people what you call me honestly depends on what do you know me from. Like, people who call me Lawrence Ray, 9 times out of 10, they know me from the podcast. People who call me LRW3, they probably know me from my music days. People who call me Ray grew up with me. People who call me Lawrence probably are more on a professional type of tip we met on. So,
Thanks.
Based on what type of, I guess, setting we met in probably is going to explain what you called me. But, I mean, I answered all of them, so it don't matter.
For sure. Let's dive into the upbringing of Ray. You know what I'm saying? Like, how was your upbringing? Was household, you had mom and dad, or you had one or the other? How was the household going?
Hey, man, my household, man, it was like any other household, man. I had my pops around. He didn't stay in the house with me, man. Stayed with my moms. We originally from Puerto Rico, so we grew up on the island. The island. You do your research on the island. The island's the island for a reason.
Okay.
From there, moved. Military family, so we moved around a little bit, and then at an early age, man, I ended up here in Warner Robins, which is why when people ask, I usually say I'm from Warner Robins, even though, I have ties to the island, of course, but grew up on the north side of the city, man, and growing up like anybody else on the north side, if you're from the north side, it's self-explanatory how that goes.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? That explains where you're from. You're from Warner Robins, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Growing up on the north side, man, like, coming up before Ray figured out what he was going to do, what was Ray doing?
Ironically, man, anybody who know me, like, if you knew me growing up, I've always kind of been this person. Even, like, when all the homies on the north side, like, I've never been the club guy. I've never been the overly,
Facts.
Like, street guy. But at the same time, hey, if I'm with you and it's going down, it's going down.
Facts.
But, like, I don't promote that, never promoted that. That's never been my thing. And the main reason why people who really know me, people like even this all these tattoos on my arm in the island, I had to bury one of my best friends growing up from violence. So, like, that's never really my goal. That's what I never want that to go there. That's never the thing. Because, like, a lot of people, the issue I have with a lot of people who, like, violence is always they number one. it's not your number one. Honestly, you just never really been in a real conflict. Y'all think tussling at the club with somebody because y'all live on a different side of town is conflict. And I done been there where I done seen somebody bleed out on the island because like that stuff they be saying, that's real. Like they say, I done seen people like bleed out and die. So like, nah, that's not what we want to do. That's never what I promote. And like people who do promote that, I be wondering exactly what have you seen? Because if you really seen some of the stuff, that's not never gonna be your number one. But
that's a fact.
Hey, you can't tell people how to live their life, man.
That's a fact, man. You know, we come from the north side. I'm from the north side too. It's just like the mentality, crab in a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So, how growing up, like what was your mindset? Like, what did you want to do to get up out of that? You know, north side, Warner Robins type of feel. Like, what did you want to do growing up?
It's crazy because growing up, man. Again, on the north side. People on the north side only seem to feel like the north side is all you can accomplish. So like for me, I was listening to people because don't get me wrong, it's great people who live on the north side doing great things, but more so like we didn't have, I'm gonna keep it real, at that time, now it's changed a little bit now, but at that time on the north side, we didn't have a lot of positive figures. Everybody was doing the same type of things. So in all honesty, man, I really wasn't really looking up to anybody on the north side. I was just more so peeping what was going on, and I knew that that's not what I wanted to do. So if all I'm saying is what I don't want to do, well, what exactly are y'all doing? And in all honesty, I'm gonna do the opposite. Right. So like, all right, all y'all going out to the club, I'm gonna kick it at the crib. I'm gonna work on some music, or I'm gonna do whatever, keep me out of trouble. Or y'all going over there with them dudes, y'all finna go do that. Y'all finna go fight them boys because they live, over there. None of y'all pay rent, but you gonna fight him because his mama decided to live over there. I never really seen the point in that. But again, I'm coming from the island where, again, I done seen somebody, like I done seen some different type of things. So like no disrespect to anybody's reason for wanting to get it in, but that's just not a good enough reason for me. Cause I've seen the end result of some of this stuff. I don't think y'all really have. And that don't make sense. That's not a calculated risk for me to take. So a lot of this stuff like people really was into, I ain't gonna say it was corny to me. I just never really seen, like even now, I've always been business related. I never really seen the return on the investment. So if I go with you to go beat him up, now what happens after that? Right. Other than they come back to beat us up or something like that. Yeah, so I never really seen the return on the investment. So growing up on the north side, I always kind of was like the guy who I was around. Everybody knew it was love. I give the shot off my back, but I ain't really like, I guess, follow the trend. Even now, people like, damn, I be forgetting he is from the north side, man. He ain't never really do none of that. But I guess that what kind of separated that idea.
Let's talk about the island, man. For the people that didn't know you was Puerto Rican, how long was you there? Like what age range was you, Man,
we was there. We was on and off. Even like, because again, I was a military brat. So I was born in Germany. Pops, mama, they was together. Then we went to the island. I was at the island. Like I said, I came here, quote unquote, officially when I was like, I think second grade, but every break, every summer we back in the island. You know how the parents used to do go with your people. So that's why I still claim I'm from Warner Robins, but I also grew up in Guaynabo and Bayamon in Puerto Rico. So, just island life up,
Do you speak the language?
Nah, I mean, I do enough. When I'm on the island. Again, I ain't been there in a while. But when I'm on the island, you kind of fall back into that. But
do your family, like your mom, your dad, speak the language?
Nah, my mom born and raised on the island, so my mom still, if you hear her talk, she still got a hard Spanish. Even
I don't even hear the Spanish, you know what I'm saying, like accent and that.
See, a lot of people don't have no idea where I'm from. That's why a lot of people didn't like.
I thought you were just a light skin.
Yeah, man. Some people, it's crazy. Nobody ever really knows where I'm from because I don't sound like I'm from Georgia. I don't sound like I'm from Puerto Rico. Most people just, I guess, assume like I'm from up north somewhere, just the way I speak. I don't know why I sound like that, but I never really took on an accent. And it might have been because, again, military, I was kind of, growing up, I was kind of everywhere. Even when I finally moved to Warner Robins, I'm still back and forth to the island, so I'm never sitting somewhere long enough, I guess, to pick up the dialect. I don't know.
Because you know how we talk on the north, like we got like our own slang. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got that. You just, you mixed up. You feel like you mixed a mixed pot of like everything. So your you know how you talk is real proper. You know what I'm saying?
I talk. It's probably because again, I mean, I'm in all these different places, but I ain't never.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I ain't never really in the mix like that. Like I'm not jumping in, having to fit in. So it's like, I guess never really caught on to the language. I don't know. Who knows?
All right, so diving into your early stages of music, man. I remember MySpace days. Used to be
you went
on
way
there.
back to the MySpace.
Used to be on the dang MySpace rapping, man. Like, what is going through your mind? Like, how you even get to that point where you like rapping and you was like the first one to be doing it?
Hey, people forget, bro. You can still check my numbers now because that's when MySpace used to have like top 100. I was going viral on MySpace back in the day. But that's crazy because on MySpace, like on the YouTube, like I've been deep on the content game. I think. Shout out Keenan Callan. We had a show, and CJ Haslam. Let me make sure I said, because he was on there too. We had a show back then called K3 TV that we put on MySpace, and it was going like I think that was like before YouTube or early stage of YouTube. YouTube wasn't popping, like you weren't going to YouTube. MySpace where you put your videos still at that time. But we were just doing like random skits. They weren't written or nothing. You just cut the camera on with your homeboys and you were just doing stuff. And them videos started like really gaining traction, going viral. And then like sometimes in the skits, because it was just on the spot, I start freestyling. People would start commenting like, "Hey, buddy, kind of dope with the bars." So you start hearing that a little bit. Then I just started trying my hand at actually making music. And because I had already a little attention from that show that we were doing, people, it kind of, same thing. They kind of just latched on, gave me an actual chance. So I mean, we was moving during the MySpace days. Like, we was moving like I
remember
it.
Hey, it's kind of crazy. I remember because like I was just getting into it too, and like seeing like you, I think it was doing a Timmy B back in the day. It was another cat too.
Timmy Buffett, Trail C, Daryl was rapping heavy.
All them people they inspired me to. Y'all inspired me to grab a cheap ass mic.
And that's crazy. See, that's the days people don't understand. There was no
long little
there was no Shure mics. There wasn't nothing like that. You was getting a $10 mic from Walmart. You was getting the Mixcraft free download, trial download. We ain't had no money. When the trial download ran out, you just deleted it off your computer, reset the computer, downloaded it again. You got another 30 days. Like that's how we was doing for real, man.
It's crazy because y'all inspired me, so I'm like, damn, how do you niggas doing this shit? And then you ain't got no YouTube to like figure out how y'all doing it. So I had to figure out. I had to okay, let me go get a mic. They got a computer because you got the dial up, the AOL John, and you have to. It's crazy. You got to make sure the wire connected so nobody can use the phone. Like all tight. You niggas don't know. It's different.
That was a different time in the MySpace days for real. That's where the hustler came from, man. Like I said, I was uploading to MySpace, getting a few thousand listens quickly because people again were watching the videos. So I'm like, yo, they giving me a chance off the videos. I've always been big on leverage. Like, all right, y'all like my videos, but y'all think about my music.
Facts.
All right, cool. And it's ironic. That's a down the line, eventually how I got back to the videos, leveraged it right back to the videos.
You was doing it like, that's what I was about to get into. You was actually doing visuals too, like, but you was like rapping it in the video. And you had the dang mohawk.
Facts. Oh, the mohawk was
Roscoe Dash.
Hey, I still have one of the coldest mohawks to this day.
Yo,
hey, I think I'm closer to going bald than I am actually getting the mohawk back now. But back then, man, my mohawk was just stacked, man. That was crazy back in the day.
Yeah, mohawk. So this how y'all know this was a while ago. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I still have. Hey, my mohawk was still one of the cleanest mohawks back then.
The mohawks was a thing. I never did it, so I can't be one of them dudes you gonna pull up a picture and you gonna see. Never did it. Nope.
Hey, I did the mohawk. I tried my longest. One thing I'm ashamed of. I swear. I hope I deleted every photo left.
Nah.
Man, I tried the double tape line too. Eventually, I tried to stay away from it. Hey, them things was cold for a minute though. Looking back, that's the stupidest thing. And y'all wonder now why y'all 27 and you bald because you done pushed your hairline back when we was in like 10th grade. But I tried it.
Double take lines. Shout out to Soulja Boy, man. He inspired.
Hey, them double takes was cold for a minute though, man. I ain't about the front with the cubic in your ear, man. You go to the football games. That was one of the ones.
Magnet earrings and shit.
You already know. Hair stove. Shout out to I forgot which one.
Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee's on the north. I love you, man.
You know
had me
what I
fresh
mean?
too many times.
You know, do-rags, teeth, all that. You know,
Facts. Back when everybody lied about they polo shirts too.
Yeah.
Everybody polo shirts swear they came from Belks and Macy's. Man, I know you got that from TJ Maxx. You wanna know how I know? Because I got the same one that I got it from TJ Maxx, man. But back then you couldn't tell nobody that.
Can't tell, man. It's crazy. Like, explain like who inspired you to even start rapping. Like, make you pick up that mic.
Who inspired me to start rapping? Warner Robins wise, I give my love to Fule DC. He showed me a lot of love. But I was already rapping by then. He just inspired me to take it more serious. The actual person who actually made me want to rap, because I ain't gonna front, I never even really wanted to rap. Again, I'm gonna go back to Puerto Rico. My homeboy Bug, rest in peace, man. That's the one I was talking about. That's what my whole right arm tatted for. It was his dream to be a rapper, not mine. And he was colder than me with the pen, keep it 100. Okay. But he passed away, and from there, I was like, damn, because I used to freestyle with him, but it was just more so because he was working on his craft. And,
Right.
you know, during that time when I was going through a dark period, man, that's when I started just trying to rap a little bit too. And like he was staying in my ear. Well, I'm going to go back. He's the reason I started, and then I took a break. That's what that 10-year gap was. When he passed away, I ain't rap no more. Because I was like, I was only doing this with him, just hanging out with the homie. That's just how we can, you know, you got that one homeboy, that's really how y'all connect.
Facts.
So then once he was gone, man, really wasn't no reason to do it. So then that's kind of why I stopped. But yeah, I gave the credit to him, man. And rest in peace, man.
That's tough, man. R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? Like doing your music thing, you have like people that not gonna like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? At that time, did you have any beefs on MySpace with the rap?
See, again, I mean, it all depends on what you mean, like actual beefs. Like did I have a true issue with somebody personally? No, but I mean, back
To
in the
where
day,
you put bars on them.
oh yeah, I mean, everybody, if you from Warner Robins, you remember, hey, I've been in the back and forth. Shout out, but not, you know, I had a couple of them, but of course the main one everybody would know was, of course, back with Chucky back in the day. That's when
That's the name I was trying to remember. Chucky.
Yeah, it was super
guy.
talented with the pen back then. Yeah, me and him got in. That was a big one. And again, because Chucky, I think he was more, again, from the south side back then, and you know, I was from the north side. And even though I really wasn't in the north side, south side stuff,
Yeah, you just a rapper.
de facto, hey, he from the south, you from the north. It somehow got, you know, pushed into that in a different type of way, so everybody kind of paid attention to it. But now that was, to this day, man, that was probably one of the best back and forths in the city ever, man, because he was super talented with the pen back then. You know, I held myself down too. You know, I ain't, you know, and it was just a good back and forth. I would say.
Yeah. That's the one I remember. Like Chucky. I just can't remember his name. You know what I'm saying? Chucky. You know, Timmy B. Those are the people that I remember. Chucky, Timmy B, Ray. In that whole circuit when y'all was dropping that music, Daryl.
Yeah, and I'm trying. And if I forgot somebody from that time period, I swear to God, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was. It wasn't a lot of people. But I mean, of course, the people I haven't heard from in a while, it's harder to remember. But yeah, those were the main ones. Timmy B, like I said, Daryl, Chucky was going crazy. You had Rack City. I ain't trying to disrespect them.
Yeah.
It was a couple people, man. I know I'm forgetting out some top hitters, but yeah, those were the main guys at that time.
Do you remember your first couple raps, like one of your raps that was on MySpace? Do you remember one of them?
Hell yeah, I remember. I forgot the beat, but I remember, man, because again, I just used to be in the room and just turning on, because I ain't again, all my homies was out doing whatever. I'm just in the room chilling. Yeah. So I remember just cutting it on, just rapping, and that, you know, back then we ain't stopping. You messed up, you just
you had
a deep breath.
Yeah.
You kick it again.
That's crazy.
And I remember one of my first time I really thought I could be like a rapper. Again, shout out Fule. I was in the room one day, and Fule and my sister was super cool. So Fule and shout out Jody, man. They was at the crib over there because, you know, they had their little friend group. I'm in the room like usual with my dope clothes rapping, and I guess they hear me. They're like, hey, he kind of hard. And then they come in the room. They're like, hey, bro, you want us to jump on it? It was the Party Like a Rockstar beat. I remember that. They're like, you want us to jump on it?
That's crazy.
I'm like, shit.
Do you remember that verse though?
I remember if I heard it come on, I could say it word for word. It's been a lot of bars since then. So I don't know
like I'm testing you right now. Like if you can remember it.
It wasn't nothing crazy like you hear me say now. Because again, I was freestyling back then. I wasn't as good as a freestyler as I am now. So I mean, I ain't gonna sound like something I say now. But it was dope. If like I tell Fule, I told him, man, I sit down. I appreciate that so much because at that time, Fule was one of them guys in the city.
Right.
So like to me, that was like Hove jumping on my beat right there.
Right.
So even Jody was moving a little bit. He wasn't as serious as a rapper, but just him even taking time, man. Like stuff like that really mean a lot to people that you don't think is that important. But like that moment right there, that's what made me say, hey, bro. Yeah, I can go with these guys because again, they ain't washed me on the song either. So I'm I held my own with one of the toughest guys in the city, man. You know, by ego, that means I'm one of the toughest guys in the city too. Like, get it? Like that's how it was.
What inspired your style? Like, what rappers in today's generation?
Man,
like?
That's how they get it down on the island, man. They be rapping for real, and then like you got to think a lot of people on the island. Most people who leave Puerto Rico, they going to New York. So that up north style, they coming back to the island.
Oh my God.
I mean, I've always kind of had an up north style. Like my cousin, shout out Death Dealer. He was staying in Baltimore. So like these are the people I was around. Again, these were the main people.
It makes sense how he communicate. He from Baltimore.
He from B-more. Like the whole.
It make a lot of sense.
Like we got a lot of up north ties. So like that's kind of been always my vibe. I've always been big on the battle rap. So battle rap, that was especially. I mean, it's come down south, but around that time when I really got into music, that was mainly, you know, focused in New York too. So,
right.
I mean, Joe Budden was my guy. Like a lot of these artists I listened to, you know, was up north guys, up north.
Cause you got a setup flow. You know what I'm saying? Like you set them up every time and then you hit them with a punch. And I mean, when you say Joe Budden, like that's kind of like Slaughterhouse Joe Budden.
Yeah, Slaughterhouse Joe Budden. You know,
they set up
music,
punch, set up punch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So and that correlates into, you know what I'm saying, your battle, but we ain't gonna get into it yet. So you rapping, you know what I'm saying, getting in high school, man. You graduating, like rapping ain't take you through the stratosphere. Like what you thinking? What's your career goals that you thinking?
It's crazy, man, cause high school, everybody thought I was gonna sign a deal. Reason being, like 11th to 12th grade, this is why when I sit down with any rapper, I tell them, put your ego in check early on.
Right.
Because my ego wasn't in check. And I missed probably a amazing opportunity. Like I used to walk around in high school. Anybody who like knew me at that time, I used to walk around every day in high school with like 6 majors contracts in my book bag for no real reason, just because I had them. And I just want y'all to know I had them. But ego had me feeling like, because I remember I had the two labels I really was considering heavy was Slip and Slide, excuse me, at that time. Now Slip and Slide ain't all that no more, keep it real. But that's around the time they had Rick Ross, they had Plies, like they still had a team over there. And it was Atlantic who hit me as well. But ego, the main thing why I would not sign either one was they was like, we want creative control of your music or whatever. Right. So I took that as disrespect back then, because, you know, in my mind, I'm like, well, why you want creative control, but you want to sign me? Like,
right.
So you clearly like what I'm doing, but then you want to take control of it. And they explained it to me now. I mean, again, I think I'm 18 then. I'm damn near 30 now. But 18-year-old me wasn't hearing that. Y'all ain't, whatever. I ain't changing. I ain't doing nothing. But now that I'm older, and I, you know, because I still keep these connections. I still talk to a lot of A&Rs. I still talk to a lot of people who now, you know, they explain to me, or I just hear them talking about other artists that when I wanted to be a rapper, you just wasn't hearing it because it's y'all can't tell me nothing. My ego wasn't in check. So now when they looking back, they're like, bro, you one of the coldest people with the pen. We will never take that away from you. Excuse me. We will never take that away from you. You super cold with the pen. But bro, you can't make a hook to save your life.
Right.
And this is a business. So like, we can't put you rapping 3 minutes straight on the radio, bro. Right. So that's why we was asking for creative control back then, because your verses is always gonna be cold, but we needed to focus on what you gonna do when we not doing a verse. And back then, 18-year-old me wasn't trying to hear that. So that's why I tell artists, you need to listen, because just because you might think you super talented, which you can be, that don't mean you got it all. Like, it's even like in the NBA, they do it all. They give you a contract off what they think you're gonna be. Right. But I mean, I wasn't trying to hear that. And you know, and to keep it real, not to make excuses, I had other things going on in my life too. So like, I mean, I definitely, looking back, I don't regret it, but I definitely dropped the ball. It's definitely something I should have gave more respect to. Or like, even now when I preach to artists, don't disrespect the indies, because I had a lot of indie contracts, but shit, let's keep it real, who wanted to sign to an indie back then, bro?
Yeah.
The
knowledge wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
The knowledge wasn't there. That's why I preach to the guys. Like, an indie, like, you may be the top guy at the indie label, or you might be one of the top 2 guys. So guess what? That indie, everything they have to give you, they gonna push you. But you want to go sign to that major who already got 3 of the biggest names in the industry. And now you like the 17th guy on the roster. So guess what happened? Nothing. They don't push you. They don't really care about you. You get shelved. That's why you see all these rappers complaining, my label ain't doing nothing for me. Well, what you thought they was going to do, bro? You like the 20th most important person there.
Come on, man. Speaking facts.
Yeah, so like, but you know, ego has you like, nah, I don't want to sign to that indie because don't nobody even know them. Don't nobody know you. So it's like, yo. But I mean, it is what it is, man. But yeah, that's like coming out of high school. I mean, I had the offers on the table, dropped the ball. Like back in the day, I made excuses, but that come with maturity. That come with growth. You realize, hey, bro, like they might have did some stuff, but bro, they weren't the only problem in that situation. So,
but tell the people how much money was on these contracts.
See, that's the thing too. People don't even realize, bro. First off, these contracts. People say how much money was on the contract. There's no money in none of these contracts. They all loans. They all recoupable.
Of course.
And back then, because now I know certain words that I didn't know then. Them contracts was horrible. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. They was even back then. I mean, cause I wasn't, you know, I was doing all right because I had the viral kind of sensation before the viral sensation.
Right.
So they offered me a little upfront money. I'm not gonna cap on camera. It wasn't much. I think it was like 50,000 to 100,000 up front. But again, that's a loan, and they definitely, the contract definitely said recoupable, which means they weren't even giving me that. I was gonna have to pay them that back. They had full creative control. There really weren't a lot of royalties in the contract. It was a 360, honestly, before we started calling it 360. So yeah, but back then, you know, before the streaming era, the goal was to just get a contract. So I can't really compare that contract and say it was bad. I mean, it's bad now, but back then the label still carried all the leverage, so they didn't have to offer you much. But nah, yeah, it was probably. I think Slip and Slide had me at Slip and Slide had more money on the table. I think they were the one who had me at 100. Atlantic had me like at 50K, but you got to think too. You can go get that working 1 year, working in a job. But back then, I don't give a damn. I ain't gonna tell y'all shit. I got a contract. That's all that mattered.
Because back then, working at a job, that's a great job.
Yeah, that's a great job. You gotta think you want to be a rapper. And again, like, don't get me wrong. You know, most artists, that's how you make your money though, is on the shows, on the bookings and things like that, which is also why they were so firm on, hey, bro, if you want them, like, they were telling me all this stuff then, I just wasn't hearing it. Like, bro, this contract, if you don't like switch your style or listen, you're not gonna make no money, bro. Cause like, if we want to send you on a tour, who can we send you on a tour with? Because like you ain't got no song. Like, we can't put you on stage for a 10-minute set.
With Cassidy, Joe. You could have been on the tour with Joe Budden.
Like, if you listen to them, bro, they weren't going on a lot of tours because they weren't selling. They were in the underground scene, and you got the little small. But if Joe Budden, the headliner, and he getting paid $1,500 to come do a show, and you opening up for him. What are you making that night? Like, you making nothing. Like, ain't nobody coming in here, and that was the issue. Nobody coming in here to watch guys do nothing but rap 3 minutes straight. Right. Like, and you talking to somebody who I love that, but even me myself, I don't even want to go to a show. Now I listen to it in the car, but I'm not finna go to a show and all you do all night is rap. I'm done with this beat, next beat, and just rap through again. Yep. Like, it wasn't profitable, it wasn't marketable. But man, ego just had me in the wrong place. But
so leaving high school, man, like. Didn't sign no contracts. What was your next step?
Man, I quote unquote went to college for a little bit, man. I went to college. For about 1 year, and I knew college really wasn't for me. Right. I went to college because I didn't know what else to do. I'm gonna keep it real. Didn't really. I thought about going to the military then. Ironically, I went to the military later on. Thought about going to the military then, and I destroyed my knee for the first time. So couldn't go to the military. What else you gonna do, bro? I guess go to college. And I signed up for college late. Like, I'm signing up everything right before college start. So I go down to college or whatever. Knew it wasn't for me. I just didn't.
What college this was? Get the people.
I went to Georgia. Damn, what was the? It's Middle Georgia State now in Cochran, but it was Middle Georgia College before. We was the Bulldogs back then. They done transferred over and became the Knights. Right. But I was down there with my man Aaron. Shout out Darius, my brother Darius, and Ben Ficklin. Man, those were my guys on the campus. But like, when I went to school, bro, I ain't never even go to class. Honestly, I got a job at that McDonald's down there, and that's when I low key just. That's when I started. Like, everybody jokes, man, you had like 7 jobs. I dead ass had 7 jobs at one time. All minimum wage, wasn't making no money, but I was trying to hustle. So I just started,
What made you want to do that? You know what I'm saying?
Because I grew up, like, no disrespect, my mama worked hard. My pops worked hard. They gave me everything they could. But I grew up, again, on the north side. I seen a lot of people struggling. Right. And, like, my worst fear was ending up one of them people. Like, so I worked so hard. Again, did I want to work 7 jobs? No, but the only places that were hiring me was minimum wage, and I had to make some money. Like, times was tough, so I worked all day. Like, literally, I remember I used to work at McDonald's from 4 to midnight. I worked at Target from 12:30 to 2 a.m. Then I went to Sears, worked at Sears from 3 to I think about 8. Then I had a job. What was the other job? I think it was Purdue in that gap. And then on the days I was off from McDonald's, I had another job working at Burlington Coat Factory. Like, Bro, I had like dead ass 7
crazy.
jobs. Never had an off day. Which is
That's in Macon, ain't it?
Yeah, that was when it was still in Macon before they moved to the mall. It was in that still that plaza back then.
How you managing this? Like, you got transportation? Like, what's going
Bro,
on?
I had a super old, shout out my pops. My pops had bought me a 01 Saturn, bro. We call her Lucy. Lucy was hella unreliable unless you really needed to get somewhere. Now, if you really needed to get there, she was going to cut on.
She reliable then.
Yeah, any other time. Hey, if she crank, she crank. If she don't, she don't. But I was in Lucy, man, driving everywhere, going to work. And, I mean, that's kind of how I was going, man. I was just working nonstop. Just, like, it's crazy. Like, that was a crazy time.
What changed for you to where, like, okay, I'm working all these jobs? What happened after college? Because you did it, you know, how long? What's the duration of you doing all these jobs?
I was in college about 1 year, but ironically, once I left college, I got me an apartment in Warner Robins, but I was still working in Cochran.
I'm saying, like, how you doing all these jobs at one time? How long was you doing that?
But I was doing that. All right, let's say I left college in like 2013, and I had 7 jobs until I want to say 2015. I dropped down to like 3 jobs because even when I was working all these jobs, I had a bigger goal because I was like, yo, I don't want to keep working minimum wage.
What you saving?
Not as no, keep it real. Because the reason I wasn't saving is not because I didn't want to save. I'm gonna keep it real. I wasn't making enough money to save. Right. Like, you got to think, my rent I was paying because I had my own spot. You know, I was paying rent, and I'm making $725 at all these jobs, and like. Shit, I mean, now, you know, we make good money, but back then, bro, I don't work 2 weeks. They hand me a $250 check, $300 check. Like, even at all these jobs, it just was, you know, gas everywhere. Like, you know, I was still, you know, I was trying, but I was check to check still, which is sad with 7 jobs. I was still check to check. I just flat out wasn't making enough.
Right.
But I knew that wasn't my end goal. I knew with all these jobs, they were still resume builders. I was like, yo, because like even jobs like, I want to say I would take every job, but I wouldn't. If you're going to pay me a minimum wage job and I'm going to take that job, it need to be a job that's not already on my resume. So like, I had a fast food job, I had a retail job, I had a warehouse job, whatever. But that's because when another high paying job come, I'm going to have some type of experience so I can go over here with y'all. So, like, I didn't mind doing it because I'm like, yo, when an opportunity presents itself, bro, I got experience everywhere. You cannot tell me I can't do that because I got some type of job. I did something similar. And that's what happened. I ended up getting a job at Rent-A-Center back then. I was the just in like an account specialist or whatever. And again, Rent-A-Center wasn't even paying. I think at that time I went from $7 to maybe $11, but at that time, you know, this is before everybody just making $15, $20. Like, that was good money back then because most people were making like $8 then. So got on at Rent-A-Center, worked, you know, at this point too, I became a manager quick because, you know, you got to think somebody been working 7 jobs. He dropped down to 2, and I think by the time I left Rent-A-Center, I only had them. I became a manager quick because I had energy again, bro. I wasn't working 7 jobs no more. I could just put all my energy with y'all. So I became a manager, and that's I stayed there until I actually got into insurance, got into you know, got on at Geico, and from there I moved, same thing. I got one job. I worked my way up. I came in at the lowest level possible in claims, worked my way all the way up through the litigation department. I got plaques, awards, became the top adjuster on the floor almost monthly. So like, I mean, work ethic will get you everywhere you want, but the issue is, like, I tell all my guys who like still struggling to this day, because it was the same people who was laughing at me when I was at McDonald's. Like, damn, bro, what you working there for? Or they was in college. To my, yeah, you at McDonald's, bro. But you know, once I graduate, bro, man, I'm gonna get me this job. I'm gonna be making $80,000 a year. Yeah, same guys hit me now. Hey,
jobs ain't open like that.
Yeah, you think you can get me on somewhere, bro? You ain't got no resume, bro. And
I'm asking this though. So you being at Geico, you moved to the top of the ladder. What made you change from Geico to something different, if that's working?
Now, I'm still in insurance. People don't even realize I still have a regular job. Like, I'm not with Geico anymore, but I'm still in the insurance field doing litigation. Just because, I mean, it's once you good at something and it's not time consuming. Like, it's been hella times, man, you done been kicking it, bro. I've been on the clock. I'm keeping it real.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's one of those things, like, I'm getting paid and I don't, like, they more consultant. They call me or whatever. I handle whatever issue it is, and then I'm back chilling. But that's still a consistent check coming for very little effort. Because, like, even that, like, that job, I'm so grateful for that experience, too, because when I got higher up and I started negotiating settlements, bro, I'm sitting down in front of attorneys, in front of big companies, talking, you know, $1 million settlements type situations with people, or I got people's lives on the line that if I mess up this negotiation, bro losing his house, he losing his car, they taking his savings. Like, I done been in high pressure situations, and that's too, like, that job gave me so much real world experience. That's kind of even going back to the music to tie it together. That's when I realized, bro, you was tripping, because like everything is a negotiation. So going back now, negotiating regular insurance, looking back to what the label was trying to talk to me on.
You could have negotiated.
Yeah, you could have negotiated. And you were just a horrible negotiator, bro. And they actually had valid points. But you know,
look, they say you get what you negotiate.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's why I'm quick to tell somebody, hey, bro, I can't tell you what it's worth. I can only tell you what I'm willing to pay. Like, I can't tell you what to charge. But
facts. Come on, man.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna say somebody else won't, but I'm gonna pass on it. But
all right, so transitioning out of Geico, man, what Ray doing next? Like after that, then what's next?
I mean, ironically, I was at Geico when I started the podcast. So I mean, I was doing the podcast, working Geico or whatever.
Talk to me nice.
Yeah, talk to me nice as I started the podcast or whatever.
So let's get into that. Then.
Okay, let's do it.
So, what your mindset on creating a podcast? What did you see? What did you feel to where like, okay, I think I need to dive into that. I think that's gonna work for me. Like what?
When I really started getting the podcast idea, it was ironically when I was with Geico, I had moved to New Orleans for a while. They had sent me to pilot a new position. So when I went to New Orleans, you know, my kids stayed here. You know, I was in New Orleans by myself, and it was a lot of traveling, a lot of back and forth. So, you know, when you driving, you don't feel like finding a song all the time. So that's when you start listening to podcasts heavy. So, of course, you know, I'm a big Joe Budden fan. I was checking out the Joe Budden podcast, all these other podcasts, and I just got really into podcasts. And then, you know, I'm always business minded too. So I started looking into the business of podcasts as well. And I was like, yo, this seemed like a dope thing, you know. It could be expensive starting out, obviously, of course. So, you know, I was like thinking about that. But I was like, most importantly, man, I had just came out of my depression kind of heavy. So I was like, listening to these podcasts really got me centered. Like, listening to them takes my mind off of it. So what would happen if I'm actually in the podcast? Like, I could probably take it to a whole nother. Just listening is cool. What happens if I actually have one? Because I know it's people who probably struggling just like I am, who just don't want to talk about it, or just don't want me put on the spot. So, all right, cool. So that's when I really started taking it serious, started looking up what I would probably need to start it. And, you know, when I decided to start it, hell, you know, you was one of the first people, like first episode. I thought I had it planned out, but obviously as you learn more, I realized I had the cheap equipment in the garage. It was super hot. Like, but that's still one of my favorite episodes. It was pure. Like, it was some of the best conversations. Like, that was when I was asking questions and really messing with people's minds. Like, I asked you something and you think the question I asked you was all I was asking you, but I low key be setting you up for like 2 questions down.
You're a rapper, bro. Like, come on.
and I really like that, because a lot of people, because it was still good information people was learning, and it was really helpful for me. Like, a lot of people came thinking I was helping them. Like, people now be like, bro, I watched your real estate video, I watched your music video, I learned so much game. But a lot of people don't even, bro, y'all was helping me just like with my mental, my getting right. Like, that's why I'm so appreciative to anybody who came during that time, because like, back then, it wasn't a cool thing to do. It wasn't nothing. Like, y'all showed up. We didn't have no million views. We didn't have nothing, man. Hey, y'all want to pull up to my garage, bro? I'm trying to start a podcast. Y'all could have, Rashad, AG2, Dimitri, y'all could easily say, hey, nah, bro, I'm straight, bro. Because, like, you know what it was. Y'all pulled up. Anybody who pulled up early on, man, that's why,
I was familiar because I did a podcast a year prior to you starting yours. And like, I think mine just got lost in the sauce because like scheduling stuff. People, we not on the same schedule. My schedule changed. I couldn't really do it. I wish I would have kept doing it, and to this day, and you never know what could happen. But so I was familiar with the format. You know what I'm saying? But I say your format was like totally different. Like, you was asking like deep questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's my thing, because I wanted people to like learn. Because I knew early on. Because again, I even before I really knew. I knew analytics, so I knew everybody and mama got a podcast. Right. I wanted to stay away from current events, because when you do the current events, that's more so like you need to be one of the first people to post that, or they're not gonna watch you. Right. But if you start giving an actual game that can still apply no matter when they watch it, you're more likely to get viewership.
I was gonna ask you that because like you never talked about the culture. You know, there was a lot of shit going on at one time. So I was like, what his mindset is like to where like he's not gonna talk about, kind of like the 85 South show. They don't talk about nothing in the culture. They're just having conversations.
That's how you keep consistent viewership, because like it's the same way I tell people, and it sounds crazy because on my podcast I always have guests with me. Right. You need the people there for you though. Like, don't get me wrong, I can have 10, 15 people on this video with me, but at the end of the day, they clicked on it for me. Like whoever else is on here is great. It's the
Right.
same thing, like though with topics. If they only clicked on it because you talking about how so and so got kicked out because his baby mama cheated on him, you might get a hot video one day if a lot of people care about that. But the next time you try to chase another topic they don't care about, and there's no real value in it unless they, there's nothing I can actually learn from this. I just want to hear some drama. And me. That's not even really in line with my personality, because if you know me, bro, I don't even like drama. I don't even be in a mix enough. I don't even be in a mix enough to know this, and I be big on not speaking on other people's business. So like, that's never been my thing. Plus, it was other podcasts already doing that. So like, my goal was create something that they can only get from you, because if they can get that from you or him, now you hoping. Now you in the hope. I don't like to hope on nothing.
Yeah,
that's not.
That's smart though, because I was always thinking that. I was like, Ray got all these people in here, but he ain't talking about the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was driven on the culture, like, because I like that type of stuff. Like, I want to see everybody, like, opinions on certain things that I see, and I got opinions. So I'm real, like, okay, let me see what they think about that. But you stirred away from that, and that was, like, different, because everybody who got a podcast, they talk about the culture. You got some that talk about other things and conversation starters and stuff like that, but not like people that's in the culture, a rapper, and not talking about hip hop. You know what I mean? So I thought that was like.
And the thing too, I'm gonna keep it real, not to hide behind smoke and mirrors. A lot of these like industry guys I kind of know on a personal level, so it's a little bit different than just talking about somebody you don't know. Because 9 times out of 10, even if I don't know like that artist particular,
future business venture. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's an opportunity, or like, because like, I might not know that rapper, but 9 times out of 10, I might be cool with somebody associated with him. Then I hit them or whatever, and they like, nah, bro, we ain't trying to do that, because we heard what you said. So like, I stayed away from it too, just because I know some of the connections I had behind the scenes. So I was like, nah, I'm not even trying to get into that, man. I'm gonna mind my business, and that's kind of how the business kept growing. But then on top of that as well, like you said, everybody else was doing that, so I didn't really want to fall in the mix, because if I do what everybody else doing, what exactly do they need to come to me for? Like, so that's why I try to stay away, and that's why I try to have the deep questions on stuff that actually help people. Like, Wells, like, no disrespect to no other podcast, because there's a bunch of dope podcasts, but around, when we was at our peak, Wells, where you gonna sit down and be able to get music, like in-depth music, like actual game? Where was you gonna get the real estate game? Where was you gonna get the relationship topics? Where were you gonna get mental health discussions? Like, I'm talking about like all whatever you could think of. There was no other podcast doing it all. Now, there was dope podcasts, might have been doing the music, might have been doing the real estate, but like, there was nobody you can just, no matter what, I'm gonna learn something from it. And that's kind of how I found my lane.
I'm gonna ask you this, man. The name Talk to Me Nice, right? Where did you come up with the name? Me, I heard the term first with I forgot her name. She's a rapper in New York. I can't remember her name, but she had a song Talk to Me Nice, and then Lil Uzi made a song called Talk to Me Nice because she had the songs. Dang, what's her name? She was on Love and Hip Hop.
I think I have, because I remember, shout out Diamond. Diamond sent me the Uzi song. Yeah. I think the podcast already booming by the time Uzi dropped his. I don't know the female, but like Talk to Me Nice again. I hang around a lot of North.
What's her name?
Shout out her.
Something dog.
I don't know, but shout out her. I'm sure the song fire.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
it.
But
that was her thing. Like, she say Talk to Me Nice for like years. Like, so I'm thinking it's a New York thing. Like, the girls that like Talk to Me Nice, like that's how they talk. So where did Ray come up with the concept?
It's crazy, because that's probably why a lot of people be thinking I'm from New York. But that's because like a lot of people I talk to, like, that will, hey man, stop playing with me, man. Talk to me nice. Like this, hey, let's get to it. And that's my thing, because like I mean, that just come from like slang, like people I was talking with around that time. I definitely didn't make up the slogan "Talk to Me Nice." It's just what people was around me. That's what we said. But my reason for that was, how I tell, even when you come to the podcast, hey man, hey, keep it real in here with us, man. It's open, ain't nobody, no judgment. All we ask, don't come in here lying, save all that extra, baby. Come talk to me nice. Hey, come on, baby, don't do the extra. So that kind of how it went. It just was Talk to Me Nice from there. And then of course behind the mental health aspect of Talk to Me Nice, it felt like the perfect thing. One, just because that's what I was hearing a lot, and then two, for the actual mental health reasons behind it. Hey man, come here and talk to him nice, man. Get your mind off of it, man.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. So diving into it, man, like I think it was 2020. I think you were dropping so many goddamn videos. Like,
it was the first year of the podcast.
Like, what was going through your mind to where like you was dropping all this content? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think every day. You know what I'm saying?
It was almost every day. I swear, I was filming every day.
Yeah.
Either I was filming or dropping. Or some days it was both.
Because I'm like, this man Ray's going crazy, and it ain't even like clips. You just full Jones like every day.
See, the reason behind that, and I want to say I don't recommend that to people now, but at the same time, I kind of do. My reason for that back then was you got to stay in their face.
Right.
When you first, now again, I don't do it now because I don't have to. But when you first getting started in this microwave era, whether it's music, whether it's podcasting, people take it in quickly. And once they done with it, they done with you if there's nothing else coming. So now, did I have to be doing that every day? Probably not. But it was one of those. The good thing that was working for me was, one, I was doing like, I've never been like stuck in one box to where like I'm dropping nothing but like music content. So one day I might have music, one day might have been real estate, and it was working because you might didn't care nothing about that real estate video yesterday, but the day I dropped a music topic you actually care about. So because the topics were wide ranging, I was still getting new people every day because it was different topics. And because like I always had guests, like the reason I had guests, I'm gonna keep it real because it was the easiest way to grow. Because anytime I dropped a preview or dropped a video, when I dropped it, guess what I get to do? I get to tag you and everybody else who was in it. So then your people who don't know me actually watching the video because of you, but then they actually like me too. So now they watching, or they one of those like, hey bro, I seen my homeboy on there, bro. I'm trying to get on there next time. Hey, pull up. So again, next time I get to tag him and all the people that he know that maybe you didn't know. And that's how I was able to grow. And even like when I got businesses, I was doing free business promo. Again, because now I get to tag all you 100 businesses. So every time, and again, people will come and having a good time. It was good energy, and like it was good content. So that's how I was able to grow so quick, because I went from dropping one video that I'm trying to push myself to like, after probably about 2 months, I probably had about 300 to 350 people who like are supporting this podcast, sharing it, telling their people about it, because either they've been on it or I'm promoting them for free, so they showing me love back. Like that's the easiest way I was able to grow, and I stayed so consistent that even when somebody went to go look, they like, damn, so-and-so was on it, so-and-so was on it too. They've been on, I gotta go over there. Like I tell everybody making content, music, whatever, you have to become the cool table, because once you become the cool table and everybody want to be there, the work is done. I mean, they gonna ask you. You go from asking them to them asking you.
So you begin to turn into a network of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Because you had different like different categories, like the Rose Garden or the $1 Million Mindset, and you had different stuff. It started to turn into a network. What was the mind? Was your ideas just so crazy that you had to break it down, or like what was your mindset of like chopping it up to where like this is the $1 Million Mindset, this is the rap sheet, and this is the Rose Garden? Like what?
Well, the reason I really broke it down was more for analytic purposes on the YouTube game, because I didn't want everything to be under the talk. Because even now, we've been doing this almost 3 years. There's still not 100 episodes of the Talk to Me Nice podcast. Now, that's over 100 videos. But the reason I did that was when you don't want everybody clicking on, like a lot of people, like they views focus, and that's great. But like you don't want everybody clicking on everything. Reason because the views aren't as important as your watch time. So I didn't want everything labeled under this is a Talk to Me Nice podcast episode, but we're actually doing like a Rose Garden. It's a sit down with somebody. So you might really enjoy the podcast with the groups and you watch those through, but you hate the Rose Gardens and you click it off immediately. So now my watch time just went down because you only watched it a few seconds. So that's why I separated it, because you kind of, even though I do a lot, you kind of know the vibes of each thing. So if you see a true Talk to Me Nice episode and you know that's what you like, you're going to click it and you're going to watch it. But you know the Rose Gardens are more focused on one person and their journey or whatever. That may not be your thing. You might not care. So you're not going to click on that at all. So no, I don't get the view from you, but I also don't have you bringing down my watch time. So that's kind of why music, like the rap sheet, you might really enjoy the rap sheets. So you're going to watch those through, but you're not going to click on the Rose Gardens. You're not going to click on Talk to Her Nice, because you already know what's going on there. You know that ain't for you. So you're not actually messing up my analytics, which is why all my analytics for each series stayed kind of high, because only people who wanted to see it were clicking on it.
Yeah, I mean, and that made total sense. I get it. I'm answering the question for the people, because they may be like, why you chop it up like that? You know, I'm gonna ask you this. On the Rose Garden, why you never put these people's name on the title?
To be real, because if you look in the descriptions, it was all the information was in the descriptions. Reason I didn't put their names in the titles. One, I never wanted anybody to feel like I was trying to take advantage of them, if that makes sense. Like I don't want them to be like damn, man, Buddy only sat down with me because, I got a following and he knew they was going to search me. Like, nah, this is genuine love. I'm not trying to get off on you. But, at the same time, if your people want to see it, it's right there. Send them to see it. But I didn't want nobody feeling like Buddy only sat down with me so he can, he can run his videos up because people are going to look for me. So that's why, because that may be real. That's why a lot of podcasts sit down with people. They sit down with people for the name, for the value it's going to bring, which in all honesty, if business-wise, I should have put their name.
It was supposed to do.
I'm supposed to do that. But at the same time, like if my rose gardens, if you go back, none of them are monetized. So I wasn't trying to get no money off you anyway. This is genuine love that I just wanted people in the community to actually get the shine they deserved. Facts. So, I mean, yeah, I could have put your name in the title if I was trying to get monetized and make money from you. But I want to try to make money from you anyway. So, like, it's real genuine. If your people want to see it, it's right here. Go look at it. But other than that, it is what it is. Explain
the same thing, same difference with the $1 million mindset. But let's talk about the rap sheet. So what made you come up with the concept of the rap sheet?
Man, the rap sheet was, because again, my own journey in music, I really enjoy talking music. And like how people were in my ear that I wasn't listening to, I was like, damn. I wanted to make sure though that somebody what I didn't like, I'm big on, if you don't want to do it, that's cool. Just don't say nobody didn't tell you. Right. And that's my main thing. Like people told me, I just didn't listen. So now I'm like, well, these up and coming artists, there's a lot of talented guys, but how do we know people actually other than your friends? Because your friends gonna tell you everything you're doing fire, and then guess what happened? You put it out to somebody, and then they tell you the truth. It ain't that. So I was like, I wanted to make sure everybody had that one group of friends who really was honest with you and told you, hey, if that's that, bro, we gonna celebrate you. But if it's not, bro, that ain't it, bro. But I was always big on constructive criticism. We're not gonna kill you. We never just gonna violate you. That's not what it is. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it. Now, if you decide to hear that information and continue to do whatever you're doing, by all means, that's your music, that's your artistry, do what you want. But don't say ain't nobody told you that, because you definitely were told about some flaws in your music. So that's why. And then of course with my background in music and my industry ties, a lot of people were more willing to listen to me as far as what I was trying to give them. So it kind of worked out.
Did who was the cast, and how did you pick the cast? Because this is a real random cast to put together, and you had to pick the right people.
As far as the rap sheet, the original, episode 1 was 3 people. It was myself, it was Mike Daw, shout out Mike, and it was Diamond Hudson. I picked Mike because Mike got one of the best music ears there is. I'm gonna keep it real. Mike, Mike got a vibe kind of like me. He up north. He like the up north type of music, but he's serious. He can break down music at a level not a lot of people can. So that's why I had Mike. And then Diamond, I brought Diamond in one because Diamond know her music too, but I brought Diamond in more so because you don't want to have. If you're going to give opinions, you want to have a representation of everybody. So if you got me and Mike, just like true music heads, I want somebody who's more, I don't want to say common, but somebody who's not in the industry. Yeah, she just vibes. She's more likely the person who's going to hear your music. This is more of a general type of person who's going to hear it. So that's why Diamond came in too. And then from episode 2 on, that's when we brought in Trey, which also made sense because Trey was a DJ. So now you got the music heads, you got the regular person listening, then you got the DJ who's gonna tell you, when they hit the club, how it's probably gonna do in the club. So you got a good representation on your music from different people with different styles and different places they probably would listen to it at. So that's how the original cast came to be.
Easy, you know what I'm saying? How was it telling these people the God honest truth about their music? Because I watch every episode, you know what I'm saying? I heard some stuff on there. It's why you even seen that in there? You know what I'm saying? Because I know everybody on it. One thing about the pod, everybody on that, they shoot a straight shot. They ain't gonna try to build you up. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who it is, if they got ties to the people, they probably take it a little easy, but they still gonna tell the truth. How was it just telling these people the truth? And some of these rappers that
nobody took it easy on it. I remember my cousin got killed on the rap sheet. My blood got killed on the rap sheet.
Yeah, these people that how you, what's your thinking? How you telling these people?
First thing what I did was, anytime somebody wanted to send me music, my first question before I accepted your music was, have you ever seen a rap sheet episode? Of course, not everybody's seen one, but of course, they lie to me and say, nah, bro, I seen it. Yeah, it's cool. I know what y'all gonna do. Okay, cool. Because if you telling me you already seen it and you sending me your music, then you understand how honest we're gonna be. Facts. Now, a lot of artists, obviously, no, not everybody watched it. They was lying, but that's not my fault if you told me that you watched it and you didn't. Now you're watching it for the first time because your music's on it and you don't really like what's being said. That's not on me because, again, I always told people I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I don't want no issues with no artist, but I am comparing you to the level of talent I believe that you have. So if I know you can do better and I just tell you, you know, that it's a great song to make your ego better or feel good, then how am I helping you? What was the point of sending this to me? And what is the point of us even filming this? Because the goal is to give people what they need. So you ain't gotta like what I said, and you ain't even gotta apply what I said. But I'm gonna keep the same. Like a lot of artists, like yo, whether we in person or not, I'm gonna keep the same. I'm gonna keep the same energy when I see you because this is not a personal attack on you, bro. This is how I feel about your music. You might be an excellent person. Like even you know, you are probably one of my favorite artists. I ain't like every song you sent, and I kept the same energy.
For sure.
But that don't mean like that ain't got nothing to do with you, the person. But like, hey, bro, I do not like that song, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I like that song from you because, and then that's the thing. Like, if I go super hard on you, it's because, bro, I done seen you. Like, you done went crazy before. Yeah. So why the hell did you send me this?
Yeah,
when I seen you do that. So like a lot of the issues, like. To me, they weren't even issues. I'm be like, bro, you said you seen it before. And like, again, I ain't say nothing. But did I say something about you personally? Well, nah, but I still didn't like how you, well, okay, bro, that's not on me. That's my opinion.
That was my question. So the people that y'all went hard on or lack thereof, the backlash from that, what, you don't have to say names and nothing, like, what kind of conversation did you have after the rap sheet on some of these episodes where y'all kind of went crazy on the artists?
People used to artists used to stay calling me, hey, bro, I don't really appreciate what y'all said. And crazy part about it is, a lot of the times they were upset. They weren't even mad at me. They were mad at something somebody else said. But I don't play that blame game. So like, hey, if they on my platform and they said something by you, like, hey, I stand by what they said. And I ain't gonna cap. Sometimes I didn't, I didn't agree. But like, I'm not even like, I'm gonna tell them I don't agree. But as far as when the artists come to me, nah, hey, I stand by whatever they said. That's they right. Because again, I'm big on that's their opinion. I'm not about to tell somebody how to feel about your music that you sent in. We didn't hit you up, bro, and ask you to send it to us. That's the crazy part. Like, they be sending it in. Because I'll tell you, I can't remember what it was. I think I called y'all one time too. But it wasn't to like be crazy in it. I was just laughing because I thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what it was though, but we were just laughing about it. I wasn't even like, we weren't coming at each other like that. And it was just fun. It was a fun situation because most of the time I'm sending stuff and I'm trolling y'all. And we knew it too.
Just to see
like
what
we would
y'all
know
gonna
when
say.
You were serious and when you weren't.
Let's see what y'all gonna say. Just to stir the pot. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I know these artists are sensitive, man, and I know y'all probably got some crazy calls. Bro.
Oh, I always got crazy. Like, and don't get me wrong, I respect people who are serious about their artistry, but at the same time, if you that serious about your artistry, because they be some artists like will be like, oh man, y'all just hating.
Right.
Well, if you thought we were haters, why'd you send it to us? Again, because nobody ever, not once on the rap sheet did we ever ask somebody to send us music. So if you had the smallest inkling we might be haters, why send it to us? But even and then I used to tell them that too. I was like, yo, even if by chance you think we haters, let's just say you right, we haters.
Yeah.
Sometimes haters will give you the best advice. You wanna know why? Because they looking harder than anybody else to find something wrong with you. And just because they hating don't mean what they said ain't true. So I'm like, are you actually listening to what was said, or you just mad somebody said it? And a lot of them be like, I mean, y'all might have had a point, but y'all ain't. Or they'll hit me with, nah, y'all don't understand what I was doing, man, or the context that I wrote this in. I'm like, yo, respect. If you plan to be a mainstream artist, you gonna tell us you gonna break down every song you put out? Well, no. Well, okay then. So we projecting you to be a star. That's why you sent it to us. You're not gonna have time to explain it. So again, if I can't get whatever you were trying to do from the song, it's not a good song, bro. I'm sorry. Like it's not on me. Like you sent it to me, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I tell everybody, I listen to everybody's music as a hater because I don't like none of y'all music, but y'all gotta make me like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like if I'm listening to it as a hater and you make me like it, I'm like, okay, cut hard. Like it's very few that I'd be like, okay, he different. You know what I'm saying? The question that people want to know, man, when is the rap sheet coming back?
Man, the schedules, we always talking about it, man. Hey, tag Trey, tag Fresh Briscoe, tag Diamond, tag Mike too, man. Ask them if we can get on the same page and we can make it happen. I'm down for. I love the rap sheet, and I appreciate it all the time because these are busy people too, man. I know y'all want content, stuff like that. These people got lives. They got a lot of stuff going on. They great individual people in their own right. So whatever time fits in their schedule, man. I'm grateful for any time they have for me if they have time for me. But yeah, tag them, ask them if they got time. Then you got a rap sheet on the way. It's that simple.
Shout out to the crew, man.
Hey, shout out, most definitely.
Diving into the pressure cooker. So this is like, in my opinion, this is like a branch off from the rap sheet. So now y'all think y'all can rap. Let's do this live and face to face. What was because this is a form, I would say this is like a variation of like battling. You know what I'm saying? So, but you're not even like battling against the person that you're rapping against. You just got to have a better verse, right? So, what was the mindset doing that? Because we know your background.
See, it's ironic because it did come from the rap sheet. Because like people in the rap sheet, man, I used to get the same type of music, the turn up music, which is dope. I know I'm in the South. Like you got to understand where you're at. I know I'm in the South. I know that's what everybody want to do. That's cool. But I was seeing my rap sheet numbers was crazy. But like the rap sheet after a while, again, like I was telling you got to break segments up because you got to understand like. The people who like turn up music, they started watching the rap sheets because they know that's where it was coming from.
Oh yeah, that's right. You start doing like R&B segment and this.
I'm deep. Like I can teach a class on engagement analytics. Once I start seeing like my analytics, people who don't know the YouTube game, watch time is when you put out a video, how likely somebody is to watch it and for how long.
Yep.
My analytics and the analytics is just a percentage of it. So out of an hour. My average analytics, my average watch time is 52 minutes and 48 seconds. That means out of an hour, I'm likely to keep you 52 minutes no matter what I put out.
Engaged.
Yeah, so that's why I'm so serious about it because that's how I'm working with all these companies because they see that, they understand, okay, you understand what you're doing. So that go back to, hey, I can't have all this turn up music and this is the only place for it because my guys who really like bars, they not feeling it.
So that's when the pressure cooker
when the pressure cooker came up. So now, all right, if you just want to hear some turn up music or whatever, we got the rap sheet on the way. We got you. But for my guys who want to hear some bars, pressure cooker. We're going to throw them in a pressure cooker. We're going to let them really rap. So pressure cooker was 100% always for the spitters. That's all it was for. It was supposed to be up north vibes.
Question though, did you exclude any battle rappers from joining this?
Nobody was excluded. Anybody could have joined.
It would have been disrespectful if you would let a battle rapper.
But the reason though, in all honesty, I really wanted the pressure cooker to be a battle scene at first, but then I realized quickly in Middle Georgia, don't nobody want to battle. Egos. They don't want to quote unquote lose a battle. So okay, cool. That's how I switched it to. Well, you're not battling each other. This is just about who can rap the best. This is best bars. Right. So like it's still kind of battle format. But I mean, I ain't gonna front. We was helping egos. So facts, you can't. Facts. He didn't battle you. He just rapped better that day.
Facts. All right. So yeah, the pressure cooker was like. All right. So now we diving into like. When you start getting big views and stuff like that, cause the pressure cooker, if I'm not mistaken, is one of your like highly viewed segments, or what was
later on? Now the pressure cooker, the original format, like the first few episodes were not. My biggest episode that turned the podcast and the platform around was episode 20 of the podcast when we were talking business. From there. The first pressure cooker, I think got like 3,000, 5,000 views. Then we did the showcase. I think that hit like 10. And that was kind of, at that point, that was kind of average for my videos. They was all anywhere, depending on what it was. It ranged. The floor was usually about 3. The ceiling could be 25. I don't know. It was somewhere in that range. By the time we brought the pressure cooker back, it was after we had did a couple of other things. Like we had sit downs with like the church and some other bigger videos that gained a lot more viewership. But like when the pressure cooker came back, because people were asking for it, when it really came back, I think the first time it came back hit 60, then the next 2 pressure cookers was over 100.
That's what I'm saying.
100K videos.
So those are your like top view videos.
Yeah, most definitely.
For sure. All right, so the people want to know, when is it coming back?
See, we got something in the making. Hey, I'm gonna put it on camera. I hit a couple people up. See, the thing with the pressure cooker, it gotta make sense again, because I can't just operate. I don't operate as just a content creator no more. I operate as a business because, again, the pressure cooker at this point is the money maker. I'm gonna keep it real. Only 100,000 view videos I'm getting right now.
Come on,
so it's kind of one of those. That's like the Super Bowl for Talk to Me Nice right now. So I gotta have a certain type of level because I have to keep moving up. So I can't just randomly put out a pressure cooker anymore because it's not gonna do what I need to do. And I need to guarantee a certain level of talent on there now too. Because I mean, if this is your golden goose, you better make sure when it comes, it's that. So so that's why it's coming though. Like I made some calls to the spitters I trust. Okay. So we got one on the way.
Okay, it's on the way, people. If y'all wondering. All right, so diving into this, cause you kind of grazed over this and you didn't talk about it at all. Let's talk about your battle rap background. How did that even get started? And who was your first battle?
Man, I can't remember my first. See, again, I'm from the island. We do that all day, every day. Like, even shout out my cousin.
I mean, let's say your first official battle, like on camera.
It was back on the island. I still don't remember his name, but
back then for sure. What year was this?
2007, 2000.
So look, I'm interviewing, man. I'm asking these questions, man. He gonna glaze over the battle. He ain't even talk about it. Hey, we gotta get into it.
I mean, that's early on. Like, this is before like URL was popping. Like, for my real battle rap heads, we talking like grind time days. Like, that's the type of setup we was on. Now, it was just the island. It was true freestyle. You know, these guys battlers now don't be freestyle. They be written. But that was true freestyle, man. That's back in the day when people would actually say whether they thought you won or lost. So, I mean, I was in there rapping my ass off. I thought, I mean, I never clearly lost. I mean, I know all battlers say that, but
I never clearly lost.
But I mean, all battlers. I mean, I say that out of respect because I battled some dope people, and it's not to say they lost either. But hey, most battles are debatable.
From what I've seen, I don't think Ray lost before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound overly confident because, you know, everybody likes like people who say they never lost a fight. That means either you ain't fought a lot of people or you picking and choosing your fights. So like, hey, I'm sure somebody somewhere seen me battle before and was like, hey man, I think old boy got it. That might be the case because that's opinions. But as far as like, have I ever lost to the fact that you couldn't debate I won? I don't think so. That's just being.
Who gave you a close battle? Let's talk about it.
That's tough, cause like,
give these people their credit, dog. You wild.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm trying to give credit, but like I never been, cause the issue with me is a lot of people usually battle me generically because it's not a lot like people really had to say to me. Because again, I ain't no overly like, you can't try to like, because battling, when you try to battle somebody, you're looking for an angle or you're looking for something you can use.
You ain't gotten it.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard. That's why. So a lot of people when they battle me, it's kind of the same. Because again, you can't try to use a street angle on me because he ain't a street dude. You can't kind of punk him because there's too many things people done seen. I will get active, so you can't go that route with me. So like, all you can really do is kind of just do a bunch of generic Ray flips or stuff like that. So everybody's kind of been the same. Don't mean they weren't dope, but like, it's kind of hard to battle me. And so like, I can't really remember somebody who just clearly had me like shook. I mean, not to say they weren't dope, you know,
but like somebody that was dope and was like, okay, he actually came with some shit. Like, you don't gotta get no names.
Man, I'm not trying to violate. I'm gonna say my last two battles out of respect. Shout out Party Boy Crash and shout out PDP. You was here for PDP. PDP was dope.
I seen the Crash battle too.
Yeah, Crash was dope too. So I mean, them guys was cooking. And again, I had been out of battle rap for a while, so you know, I really wasn't in the battle rap like I needed to be. But like, I mean, hey, them boys was cooking, you know. If somebody said they got it, I actually wouldn't be offended on that because they was doing their thing, and he's my people too, so it's love. So I'll never get mad at somebody, you know, being on their side. But I guess, hey, just because I want to say a name just so I don't, because I hate when battlers do that. They be like, man, I ain't never lost a day in my life. And you done seen them lose. Yeah, like, bro, oh boy smoked you, bro. Let's keep it real. Nah, that never happened. All right, whatever.
But so, yeah, because they got to keep that, like, undefeated demeanor.
And that be that, man, when you gotta, I don't know, man, maybe my ego done got in check after, like I say, with the music stuff, all that. My ego don't be that. I know people be thinking my ego don't be that big, but I think for the people, I think it's fake humble. That's what I think. Who, me?
Yeah.
It might be a little bit. And I'm not even gonna say, because I don't want it to even come off like I'm trying to be humble. I'm gonna keep it real. I just honestly don't be caring. If I'm being real,
okay, cool.
Like, I just don't be caring about a lot of stuff, so it don't be worth the effort you gotta do to try to sell it with people. Okay. It'd be like, bro, I really honestly don't care. Like, if you think he won, he won.
I get that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But in your mind, you like, I smoked this nigga.
Nah, don't get me wrong. No, don't get me wrong. I get busy. Like, I get busy for real. But that's my thing too, though. Like, I don't really rap more so to like, I don't want to say not to beat the person because you do, but I be rapping. So like, in all honesty, when I watch it back, boy, you was cooking, boy, you was doing your thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if I like what I did, I can care less what you did afterwards. Because,
Yeah.
like, even, like, after I hear them that day, I'm not going to front. When I watch the battle back, I'm going to skip your part. I'm just going to be watching me. So,
try to just see if I can what I can work
yeah.
on.
So,
you
like,
know?
it be dope artists. I just don't, like, I don't be caring.
How you remember all this? Battle rappers. How do y'all remember this shit?
Man, hey, that's a talent in itself. Like, he's one
Like,
of those.
what's y'all preparation? Like, are y'all voice recording this and listening to it like it's a song, or y'all just rehearsing this over and over and over and over?
Yeah,
like,
it's mainly me. Like, mine, it's more so rehearsal. Like, you write it, of course, and then, like, see, most battlers who be messing up, in all honesty, them be them battlers who, like, first off, most battles get set up like 2-3 months in advance.
Right.
But then you'll have these rappers coming, yo, I just wrote this like 3 days before the battle.
Right.
Bro, that's your fault.
And
like,
they
they told
choke,
you 3
and
months
they
ago.
choke, you know what I'm
like,
saying?
nobody, like, that's not a good thing that you got through it, but you were stumbling because you wrote 3 days ago. You had 3 months prep. So, like, me, I'll write it out or whatever, and then over the course of 3 months, man, I'm kind of like, usually within like the first 2 weeks, I got it written and memorized, and that's when you start, you know, you got 2 months basically to really lock in on like performance. This how I'm gonna say it. This how I'm really gonna perfect the performance aspect of it.
do you rap it to somebody?
I rap it to my cousin only. Usually my cousin or Hollywood Heem. Shout out Heem. He just got on RBE. I shout, you know, I spit them my bars. But that's the thing too. When you battle, you don't want to spit your bars to a lot of people, because then if they come to the event and they already heard the bars, now you losing reaction. And like, you know, a lot of people, they don't actually listen to your bars. They watching reactions.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure those reactions stay fresh.
Yeah.
So you got to keep a tight circle. When
Shout out to the dealer. That nigga different.
Oh yeah, he different. That's the bloodline different. That's a fact.
I ain't even know, like,
I be telling people that's the battle rapper of the family. People be thinking I be just playing and just be saying stuff till they see it. They be like, oh, okay, you got it. You got it.
He take it to another level. Like, he really take it to a different level.
Nah,
So
he really him.
that's my style. I like daylight and all. You know what I mean? So let's get into like who's your like favorite battle rapper?
My favorite battle rapper, I'm not gonna cap. I ain't been watching battle rap a lot. My favorite battle rapper is my cousin, Out of Death Dealer.
I mean, you can't say that.
I mean, it's either Out of Death Dealer or it's Hollywood Heem. I don't really get into the
Hollywood
mainstream.
Heem?
Hollywood Heem, my boy. You know.
I don't know. Is he in the league or
He on RBE now, but like he a upstart. Like he one of my close friends too.
Okay,
Keep it
see,
real.
you can't be doing
This
that,
my
right?
partner. But I'm gonna keep it real.
No. Let's do this. Back. It don't have to be current. Like, back in the day, you was watching battles, and this nigga was different. Like, who was that battle rapper?
Sheesh. Hey, I'm going old school, super old school with this. You probably don't even know him. I mean, if we had to go more current, Sue Surf used to get busy. Free to wave. If we had to go like grind time days, people might have forgot about this guy, Locksmith.
Oh, dang, I know Locksmith.
See, that was one of them guys back then when I first got into it. That's kind of how I got my style too, to keep it real,
way.
because Locksmith used to get busy. Like the way he used to do it, like I rock with Locksmith heavy for the old tip, but like I don't really know a lot of new guys, to keep it real, just because I don't really be in a mix like that on the battle rap on like I need to be.
Yeah, get back in there, man. It's
Yeah.
some dope talent in there. My favorite battle rapper is Daylight. I don't think nobody better than
Daylight
Daylight.
get busy, but Daylight be too inconsistent sometimes, man. Daylight one of the people who piss me off because he's super talented, but he be playing around.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't think nobody got more talent than Daylight, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? That nigga different. That Tay Rock battle that he did, one of the best verses ever put down on battle rap. Nobody can't debate that. When he started doing the stars and the universe, and he Tay Rock and I Statue, and it was different. He was going crazy. Shout out to Daylight. That nigga different, bro. All right, so diving into this, we never talked about the military background. When did we get into the military?
Man, I've been military, what? I think going on 6 years now. I think, yeah, about 6 years. So 6 years ago, what was that, 2018? 2017, 2018.
How does that fit in your repertoire? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing the military, doing Talk to Me Nice.
Man, I ain't gonna front. I don't be doing that much in the military. Like, I'm in the reserves. Shout out to anybody who served. But the reserves ain't like active duty, man. I show up, you know, on my drill weekend, do what I'm told, go home. Like, ain't really much to say about the military. I definitely appreciate my time in the military, of course. Got a lot of great relationships with a lot of people, but I mean, I ain't gonna front like it be taking a lot to put into my schedule, because it's mainly just, you know, them drill days or like during the summer, like we'll go away for a little bit of time. But other than that, man, it just kind of go with the motion, keep it real.
Okay.
But shout out to everybody who serves, man.
Shout out to everybody who serves. Thank you for your service. You know what I'm saying? All right, so man, we close this thing out, man. You know what I'm saying? I think we covered a lot of bases. We didn't cover everything.
And you're going to get me in trouble with this, too, because people, a lot of podcasts be reaching out to me like, hey, man, I'm trying to get you to sit down with me. And, like, no disrespect, because I be telling them, it be no disrespect. Shout out to everybody. I see everybody moving. I just really don't like being in front of the camera no more, which is ironic. But the only person I be sitting down with is you. So, like,
you know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a podcast I just turned down. It'd be like,
for the people that's out there that doing this, I want to let y'all know something, that y'all not better than me. Your camera ain't better, your visual ain't better, your editing ain't better, your return on the time that you release the video ain't better, the content that you drop ain't better, your clips ain't better. You ain't better.
And that's a fact, though. And the thing is, like, I'm going to keep it real, though. That's why I sit down with you, too, because you take it serious. Like, we were just talking about this before the camera came on. Your equipment, you put the money in it. Like, when podcasts reach out, man, like, I'm asking certain things to most podcasts. Hey, what's your watch time? What's your engagement? I'm going to send you mine. Mm-hmm. So, hey, you see what I'm working with, what you working with. Because, like, I got love for everybody, but at the end of the day, like, I got a studio. I got business. Facts. I got, like, time is money. So, like, yeah, it might work for you. It might be a fun thing to do for you. But for me, like you said, return on investment, return on time. If you ain't even cared enough to buy no good equipment, if you don't even know your watch time, if you don't really like put the time in to perfect your craft, why am I taking my time away to like do that for you?
Right, and Ray owns his own. We is in his studio.
Yeah, we in this like this building ain't free and it ain't cheap.
Talk to me nice.
Like,
studio.
Anytime I'm sitting with a podcast, because hey, if you need your podcast film, come talk to me nice studios, man. I got love for every podcast. I don't want to be a competition. I want to film it and make you better. In all honesty, because I know a lot of people be acting weird or something, thinking I'm gonna act away or whatever, bro. I want to work with you. Like I don't know what y'all think.
Ray the coolest, fake, humblest person that I know.
It's so funny though. People will talk to me, then they be like, bro, I would have hit you up sooner, bro, but I thought you was gonna swerve or act away on me. Nah, I'm like, bro, man. Y'all the only one who caught up in these things, man. This is love. I want to see everybody in the community grow, man. If you want to be a podcaster, reach out to the ones making moves. It ain't gotta be talk to me nice. Reach out to Sari. Reach out to somebody you see doing it, man, and do it. Whatever it is you want to do. But yeah, don't be just assuming you can't ask for help just because you think somebody gonna act some type of way.
Yeah, man. Shout out to people that doing this, man. It ain't easy to do. It take a lot of dedication. Like I say, Ray been doing it for a very long time. And he do it non-stop. Like, this nigga, he a fucking machine. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. And you heard him say he had like 7 jobs at one time. I don't think nobody ever did that in the city. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, that was gotta talk about it. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But so I don't want to glaze over the business. That's what we got the commercial for, so you can kind of promote. You know what I'm saying? They already know where you at. But like for the people that don't know, man, the last segment that I do, this is your commercial. Like for the people that don't know you, don't know where to find you, don't know how to book you, don't know where your location at, get the people the information, man. This your commercial. Go.
Hey, again, it's your boy Lawrence Ray, also known as LRW3, the host of the Talk to Me Nice podcast, a million view platform here in Middle Georgia, proudly 478 built. We have our own studio, Talk to Me Nice Studios, located here in, I want to say Warner Robins. I guess the address is Byron, though, 3421 U.S. Highway, Suite 2600B, Byron, Georgia. Yo, if you're looking for somewhere to film your podcast, if you need somewhere to create your content, hit me up, man. Instagram Lawrence Ray, Facebook Lawrence Ray, wherever you need to find me at, please find me. I want to work with you. I want to see you attain your level of greatness that I'm sure you know is in you, and I'm happy to see and hopefully get to see you attain. So if you're looking for a content studio home, tap in with me, man. And even if you choose not to, man, I wish anybody who's doing this, stay consistent, stay focused, and you're going to get whatever you put into it.
That's it. That's what we outside with. Gone.